Hi everybody, Mike Handcock here. Today we're going to go online to take people offline and to create a money train. And it is trademarked because it is a money train. For those of you that are meeting me for the first time, here's a little bit about me.
Inspiring, challenging and motivating.
It'll be like nothing you've experienced before.
Awesome, life-changing.
One man, one life, one mission. A journey that's now taken him to 110 countries. From researching deep ancient wisdom to complex business systems, Mike Handcock has directly impacted the lives of over 300,000 people on 2,000 stages worldwide and through numerous international best-selling books. From orphan to senior executive, rock star to conscious leader, today Mike shapes the lives of award winners, CEOs, celebrities, and entrepreneurs across 6 continents. As the founder and chairman of the Circle of Excellence Group, owning brands like Worldwide Business Intelligence, Lead Magazine, and the Global Expert Institute, Mike Handcock is deeply involved in conscious change. Following recognition by US President for Philanthropy, multiple awards in speaking, business, and writing, Mike's message is profound, timely, and significant. Please put your hands together for Mike Handcock.
And of course, folks, we couldn't have got anywhere with any of that stuff without social media and the power of social media. I realized I was an early adapter because I started using LinkedIn right back in 2003, Facebook in early 2007. So I've always been an early adopter of different things. And today we're going to share how to create prosperity and freedom with purpose, utilizing social media. But I want to share some pretty annoying and devastating statistics for most of you. 63, 7, 53. What do these mean? If you know, maybe write it down and let's have a guess and see if you get it right. And if you do get these right, wow, you are in tune. Here we go. 63% of you are working harder than what you did when you were an employee. So in other words, 2/3 of the people listening to this that are entrepreneurs are working much harder than what they were when they were actually in a job. And 7% of you only, meaning 93% of you, this doesn't happen for, only 7% of you gross, not net, gross more than $20,000 a month, $250,000 a year. Only 7% of you. So you're doing all this, working so much harder, and you're not making money. In fact, 53% is the exact amount of your previous salary that you were getting in a job that you're earning now, trying to be an expert in your own business. So if you were earning $100,000 before, chances are you're only earning $53,000 now, and you're working super hard to get it. And one of those biggest reasons here is that you are doing a lot of the wrong things right. You're spending a lot of time wasting time on things, and this is a huge problem. So today we're going to solve those problems by showing you some aspects of the money train. Plus, I'm going to get into some detail I've never got into before on any webinar or on any online platform about exactly how we've built 7-figure businesses using the money train and using online systems. So that's going to happen for you today. So I'm going to uncover some things for you during this. I'm going to show you a couple of case studies and talk about a couple of people that we've worked with who are doing these things very, very well. And of course, I've got an offer for you in here as well. I'm going to talk about it in a little minute. And then for those of you that are genuinely interested and seriously know that this is the call that you've been waiting for, then hang around at the end where we get into it in detail. So this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn about the money train. You're going to learn about going online to get offline. And that is an absolute key to this. And I'm going to share why this is later. And you're going to learn a strategy which for us has earned $92 for every connection that we have in a certain online platform. Not selling them something, but $92 every time somebody connects is the average that we've been making from this strategy. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. So hang around. I've never shared that one in this forum before. And here we go. By the way, when I say I'm going to share it, most of you are probably not going to do anything about it because you'll think it's too hard. So you'd rather earn $53,000 of your previous $100,000 than earn $1 million by doing just a little bit more detailed work. And you're already probably spending 12 hours a day working. I don't. So let's get back into this now. Let's talk about the money train. I often find that people really underestimate the amount of setup time it takes to do something. And so therefore they do it half-hearted. When they do it half-hearted, they then spend 5 times the amount of time at the end trying to fix all the mistakes they've made and trying to play catch up. And what that means is that they're insulting their market by just bombarding them with rubbish all of the time, and their market just turns a blind eye to them and it becomes white noise. The money train solves that. It's essentially a sales funnel system, but one unlike anything that you've seen before. In fact, when I went and Googled sales funnels in order to put this presentation together, I didn't find one sales funnel on Google that is like the money train. So here we go. There are only 5 carriages in your money train, but it must run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The first carriage is your lead carriage, followed by your trust carriage, then your love carriage, then your sale carriage, and your journey carriage. Now, if you have a look at my screen there, you will see that the lead carriage in white there, the sale and journey carriage in the gray areas, basically most of you are spending time generating leads and trying to sell them. So that's what you're doing. Hence, you're missing the 2 golden opportunities and the thing that makes everything different that, again, most of you, even though you're listening to this and you go, that's great, are not going to be prepared to do. And so if you keep yourself stuck in a year from now, then you probably should have a look at the money train if you can access it at that point. So leads, let's start with that. Let's keep it simple. You have to have at least 4 sources of leads, and your proprietary database needs to be in an offline space, meaning that even if you have it on MailChimp or Infusionsoft or anything like that, it needs to be downloaded regularly off that and kept on a disk that you have with you. Why? I can't guarantee you that MailChimp and Infusionsoft and all the other ones are going to be there tomorrow, Constant Contact, etc. I can't guarantee you that. I can't guarantee you LinkedIn's going to be there tomorrow. I can't guarantee you Facebook's going to be there tomorrow. You know, we've got a lot of companies that we came to know and love over the last 10 years that disappeared or were absorbed into other companies and then have become second-rate versions of themselves. Look, when I first started going online, I was an early adopter of Skype. I still have a Skype account, but I don't think I've used it in 3 years. So from that aspect, things change. So you need to own your proprietary stuff, and you need to have at least 4 sources of leads. Why 4 sources? Well, if you look at a fork picks up your food with at least 3 or 4 prongs. Most forks have 4 prongs. There's a good reason for that. It holds onto the food pretty well. So coming at people from different angles is going to be a really good thing. Let's move on to trust. Trust. What can you do to gain instant trust? And we're going to talk about this in some depth as we go through this. And then how can you make people fall in love with you? Now, this is a funny thing for me. We don't have a problem getting people to trust us and to love us. In fact, part of our generation strategy, and even part of the way I'm talking with you today, is really, I just talk direct. I'm just a straight shooter. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't try and befriend you all. Some of you don't like me already. Some of you love me. Some of you are somewhere in the middle. The only people that we are focused on are the people who really engage with us and who love what we're about, and the people who fall in love with us. The rest, somebody else can look after. There are so many people in the world that we only want to work with people who love us and that we love them. That's our key. Now, from moving there into the sale, and I'm telling you that if you build trust and love into your sales process, then you aren't going to have to do much selling. People are going to actually ask you if they can buy from you. I can't remember the last time I actually said to somebody, would you like to buy a product from me? No, I don't need to do that, because the way we set this up, people are going, so how can we work together? In what way can you guys help me? Right? When people ask you those sort of questions, you know you've built trust and you know you've built love. Yet most of you, if you think about it, are out there meeting with clients every day and throwing stuff at them online and saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, come here, I've got the best, this, mine's the shiniest, mine's the brightest, mine's the most different, mine's the newest. None of that matters. If that mattered, then people who sell commodities wouldn't be able to compete against each other. If you buy insurance, there are 24 million insurance companies in the world, well, maybe 2 million. And, you've got so many choices, but essentially it's the same thing. You die, you get paid out, right? Yes, premium might be a little bit better on one company than the other this year, and then it'll change again. People buy because of trust and love. People buy on emotion and justify it with logic. And then the last carriage here is the journey carriage. And the journey carriage is a really important carriage because the sale is not the end of the process. It's the beginning of the process. We have somebody whose current job is an Uber driver, previous job in a call center, who spent over $100,000 with us over the last 10 years. We have somebody who worked part-time in a health food shop who's also spent over $100,000 with us in the past 10 years. In fact, both of those people had standing debit orders for new things that we brought out. Just as we want everything you bring out, just when you've got something new, show us what it is and we'll engage with it. That's the type of trust and love that you want to build into your business so that you don't have to go chasing new clients all the time. But your money train has to have these 5 carriages and has to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. So let's jump into this. Trust is your currency. And I want to use the acronym of trust here in this infographic from Worldwide Business Intelligence, one of our companies, which will help you understand how to build trust with people. Firstly is to get testimonials, get people to testify for you. Now, if you go to my LinkedIn, and please do right now, I don't believe in getting 500,000, testimonials on LinkedIn or anything like that, because that just knows that you're shopping from them. I think there's about 35, maybe 40 testimonials on LinkedIn. They are genuine, bona fide testimonials over the last 10 years, 4 or 5 a year that people have put up there, and they all say essentially the same thing. So with that is one way to do it. Video testimonials are even better. And if you go to our YouTube site, you'll see we have a whole playlist of video testimonials taken over the years. And we literally have hundreds of video testimonials. In fact, we've probably got 20 that we still haven't edited yet from a recent event. So testimonials are great. And then, of course, there's results. So people want social proof. They want to see your results. What have you actually done for others? What have you done for people like them? And the U in trust is for unlimited. People hate being limited. People hate only having access for a month or a day, or, they can only call you on a Friday at 4 o'clock because that's the only time. People want something that's more unlimited, that doesn't have boundaries on it. So the more you can build that into your products and services, the more you'll gain trust. And people want to feel safe. That's what the S is for. There are so many snake oil salespeople out there. Michael, who's a wonderful friend and client of ours from Namibia, put a testimonial on my LinkedIn. You'll see it. It's only 3 or 4 down if you go there. That says there's so many snake oil salespeople in the world. Finally, there's somebody who's not a snake oil salesperson. People want to feel safe. And lastly, it's got to be tangible. When you go, and this is why you've got to go online to bring people offline as soon as possible, because online there's very little tangibility. In this format here, there's very little tangibility that we can offer you. So therefore, giving you something tangible is going to be something that is just fantastic for all of you. So with that, okay, let's move on. I want to go to a case study now. This is Richard Hardiman. This is something that happens when trust occurs. Richard was a DJ on Twin Oceans Vibe, a Cape Town-based radio station, and I was his guest a number of years ago. And he's a great guy. We instantly had a rapport. So I invited him the next time I was in Cape Town along to an event that we were running called Entrepreneur X Factor. We ran them in 26 countries around the world for a number of years. There's a couple of best-selling books out you can buy on Amazon, Entrepreneur X Factor, that we wrote. Richard's features in one of those books. And anyway, he came along to the event, and because he had trust, because he had had experience, because he had sat in my presence whilst I was on his radio show and we had that trust rapport, he actually shared with me, Mike, I've got a really stupid idea and I want to share it with you. But, because we've got this time, I just want to know, can you give me any tips? And so he shared me his idea. I thought it was a genius idea. And his idea was for cleaning up the harbors of the world by building this shark that went around the harbors and ate all the garbage. You can go and check it out online, Run Marine. And Run Marine has, for the last 2 years in a row, won Global Eco Awards. He's based out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands now. So he's moved from South Africa to the Netherlands, and he's in second tier funding on what has been just the most exciting and rewarding project of his life. Would not happen without trust. And of course, Richard's a great client and friend of ours as well. So trust is a key. You have to get people to trust you. If you cannot build trust through getting people offline from building them online, I'm going to share with you some major problems later on, then you're going to miss out because you're going to be doing a lot more work than you need to get clients. Let's look at now taking people offline. So this is a key. So we're all online now. So how do we go online to take people offline? Firstly, we have to understand something that is more prevalent now than what it was when it was written in the Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani, many years ago. I'm going to read this for you because I love this. I am he who came forth from the flood, to whom abundance was given, so that I might have the power over the river. Now, if you've been to Egypt and the Temple of Saqqara, which is the step pyramid complex about 7 miles from the actual pyramids, this in there houses one of the greatest books in the world, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani. 1250 BC it was written. And what it says here is, I am the person who came forth from the flood, from the embryonic fluid of my mother's womb, to whom abundance was given. That's the actual ancient Egyptian word that they used, to whom abundance was given. I was given everything so that I might have power over the flow of the river. This is exactly what George Lucas wrote for when he said, "May the force be with you, Luke," right? He's talking about having power over the flow. When Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest Japanese samurai ever, wrote the 5 Rings of Power, he talked about having control over the flow of the river. And this is what's come right from ancient times. And to do that in the modern world, in 2020 onwards to 2030, there's the most significant thing here that you have to realize that is the #1 trend on the planet. We identified it in an event series in 2015, and then we've talked about it ever since. We called it #YouIsm. What it means is that every single one of you wants to feel individual, and you want to be able to get what you want, not what everybody else wants to give you. So that means that you have to create totally flexible and individualized products. Oh no, okay. So when Henry Ford bought out the T model Ford, there was an old saying, you can have any color as long as it's black, right? So that doesn't go these days. Go to a BMW or Mercedes website. The number of options that you can put together your new Mercedes or BMW is well over 100. You're going to have 5 different types of mirrors, 4 different types of rims, different upholsteries, different sound systems, sunroofs, non-sunroofs, different types of engines, well over 100 combinations of different things that you could have. They understand that every single person wants to be an individual. So when you go online, you have to bring people offline because they need to be understood as individuals. And here's the key to it. Values. Values create friendships, and friendships have trust, and friendships have love. So you have to be very, very clear on your personal values. So some of our personal values, freedom, beauty, travel, love, and fun. Okay, so there's 5 of our core values there. So if we're purporting our values like travel, so we want to build products that allow us to travel. We want to travel and meet great people. I mean, normally when there's no COVID, we go to about 17 countries a year where we're working and traveling and meeting new people and having a great time. So you have to have your values. Now, if you look at this picture here, I chose it of these Vietnamese fishermen, all of these people have a common value and a common purpose. Together, that's why they'll come together. They'll create a community. They'll look for a home together. They'll fish together. This is what you want to create. And by bringing people offline, and when I say offline, it doesn't mean necessarily face-to-face. It means out of this faceless space. So I'm going to have something today that's going to encourage you to come from this space here, where you're just looking at me in your camera here, and you're just looking at this presentation, to come into our world and be part of our world. I'm going to invite you to do that today. So wait for that. But if you can get people to come into your world, and if they have like-minded values, and our values are beauty, meaning beautiful people, meaning not beautiful physically, but beautiful hearted people, beauty in nature, beauty in business deals, beauty in everything, freedom, to create the freedom, fun. Everything's got to be fun. You know, even this webinar's got to be fun. I've got to have fun or else I wouldn't bother doing it. You know, travel, okay. At the moment, we're traveling more locally than internationally, but that's going to change again. And love, you have to love your clients, every single one of them. If there's a client you don't love, then you've chosen them wrong, okay? We don't have one client we don't love and who doesn't love us. So once you create values, this is the strongest part of your messaging every time you message somebody, right? So when you look at our friend behind me, the octopus, the symbol for worldwide business intelligence, you know, the octopus may have, 8 legs, but it has 9 hearts. So it's an amazing creature. So once you starting to look at that, you understand the intimate intelligence in the octopus, the smartest creature on the planet, also doesn't have DNA from this planet. That's for another time. Trust creates 76% more engagement. Forbes magazine said that in 2018. So if you are not creating trust with people online, then you cannot get them offline, and therefore you won't have engagement with them. And if you don't have engagement, then even if they buy your rubbishy product, they're going to ask for their money back pretty soon, because they're not going to get what they wanted from you. You see, if you have a look at the back of this slide here, this is the marketplace. It's a sea of white noise. Everybody's yelling. Laura's yelling there. Mars is yelling. Dungness is yelling. Okay, all these cities are yelling. Victoria, I wonder if that's in Canada or Australia. The Woods is yelling. Everybody's yelling their message. The seagull is yelling. Everything's yelling at you all the time. So the only way you can compete in a marketplace of white noise is to cut through with values, and to cut through. It's not about strong messaging and about having some unique product or anything like that. People have great businesses with very ununique products. So it's about reaching in, grabbing that person by their heart, the exact right person, and then creating trust with them and having them fall in love with you. Maybe through sampling, or maybe through some other mechanism. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. Here's Dennis Giannoutsos. I love Dennis. He's one of our great clients, been with us as a client now for about 4 years. I think it's going into year 4. Now, Dennis came out of a Fortune top 10 company where he was head of leadership and development globally. And he started his own consultancy business. His brand really is leadership is changing. And he obviously wanted to diversify. Now, here he took on one of the smartest strategies that I think I've seen in the last 12 months. He's now got the, I think, number 11 business podcast in the world. So Gary V is number 10. So that's showing you where Dennis has come from in a matter of 6 months. But more importantly than all his podcast traffic, and he's loving doing his podcasts, and he's a great interviewer, and both Lundy, my partner, and I have been on his podcast. More importantly than that is he's targeting people who he wants to become potential clients, potential centers of influence, potential joint venture partners, and bringing them into his podcast and showcasing them with other phenomenal people. Can you see how that's going online? And then once you've done that online and you share that person's genius with your thousands of listeners out there, that you can then take them into offline conversations that could go anywhere. Now, Dennis, during COVID, has had a really good year, regardless of what's been going on around him. And he's in a consultancy business, which typically most people, really aren't paying too much for consultants at the moment. So anything can happen. He has gone online to bring people offline and done that, created ultimate trust with the key people that he wants to do by having them as guests on his podcast. I want to talk to you now about something I'm going to share in detail later. Jim Rohn said, Tony Robbins said it later on, but Jim Rohn said, you're the sum total of people that you hang out with. Tony Robbins said, you're the makeup of your 5 closest friends. The Octopus Tribe is something that we created, and it's something whereby it's a tribe of like-minded people throughout the world. You can buy an annual membership for it. There's some stuff there that nobody else who does what we do in this type of space has. Nobody in the world has this. And also, I can tell you, because of the values and everything there that I'm talking about, you end up with a very, very certain type of conscious leader, entrepreneur who wants to make the world a better place, who's prepared to collaborate, partner, co-create, and who is also very transparent and authentic as part of this. I'm going to talk about this towards the end. I just wanted to brief you on it now. Now let's move into stage 3 of what I wanted to share with you today. $92 a contact. So since 2017, we've done this. Lundy, my partner, did it firstly, and she did it amazingly. And even though I was an early adopter on LinkedIn, I really didn't dive into it until 2017. It sort of sat there with a couple of thousand contacts on the side. So since 2017, my personal LinkedIn's grown from about 2,000 to about 15,000 now. On average, for every single one of those people, we have made $92 a contact. And that includes Lundy's as well, which is built from about 7,000 to about 25,000 in the same time. So you can do your math on the numbers there, but it's extraordinary. But more importantly than that, here is how it's done. Firstly, you have to start with absolutely knowing who you're after. You have to know your core avatar, no other way. When I went to my favorite site to find a photo to put in this slide, I couldn't not choose this photo because this is Jonah Smith. How do we know it's Jonah Smith? Because we've called him Jonah Smith in 3 or 4 of our training materials in Worldwide Business Intelligence. This is a core avatar that you may go for. He's over 40. He's a little rough around the edges. He's come from the wrong side of the tracks, and he's certainly not a Harvard University boy, this one. He's got the creases, he's got the lines, he's been in the fights, ties a little undone, but he's smart, he's streetwise, he's driven, he's conscious, he knows what he wants, and he gets it. So you can see just by looking at this photo. And this is why I want to suggest to you, go and choose some photos of the absolute core people that you want to have in your client base. When we launched another one of our businesses, the Global Expert Institute, it took me nearly a day to find the photo of the type of person that I wanted to be the licensees of that business. And so actually, I found the woman fairly quickly. The man took me quite some time, nearly a day of going backwards and looking at different stock photo sites and different portrait sites to find the portrait of the person that I wanted. I'm not suggesting we go after Jonah Smith here. which we've named him because we think that that's the right name for this guy. Jonah, it's like very biblical, is very driven. It's from the Bible, the guy who ended up in the whale. So he's been through those hard times. But Smith, because he's also very ordinary at the same time. So you have to choose this core avatar. And most of you choose a demographic. Oh, my client is 35 to 60. They have to breathe. No. Get rid of that stuff. Get it really, really succinct. So successful people are prepared to do what unsuccessful people are not prepared to. So what we look for, our target is 42 to 60-year-olds, award-winning conscious entrepreneurs. Already that discounts most people who want to change the world, write a best-selling book, and to have prosperity and freedom in their life with purpose. So when we go online, and LinkedIn is our favorite place to do this, this is who we're looking for. You can find all of these things through keywords, by the way, and you can find it. We look a lot at photos of people. Photos tell a lot about a person. So, have a good think about your LinkedIn profile photo and what it's actually showing people. So I want to give you our 3 core things, and they're about a week apart, and this is exactly how we do it. When we connect with somebody, we don't just go, hi, do you want to be my LinkedIn friend? No, that doesn't really work, okay? We've trialed a number of things, and we found the best way to actually connect with the right people is to ask a question. So if I wanted to connect with Jonah Smith, okay, if that was my target market, then I would go, hi, Jonah, I saw your profile here. I see that you're in London. Can you tell me what's going on here in London at the time I'm looking to do this? So there's a fairly typical question. And interestingly enough, if they answer, I can guarantee you they're probably going to become a client at some stage in the future. If they don't answer but befriend you, you've got a little bit of work to build trust. And some of the rest, just get rid of them. If they haven't responded inside of a week, ditch them onto the next one. So that's step 1. So now we've asked the questions. We're not actually that concerned about whether they answer them or not, but the answer ones get the priority. So therefore, and we generally ask a question that we can utilize as well. So we have a magazine, Lead Magazine. So we generally say, hey, we're writing a new article for Lead Magazine. Can you tell us your opinion on this? Or can you tell us where the best place to go is for this? So we get genuine help from people at the same time. People love helping other people. Think how you feel when somebody asks you to help, if you can help them. You generally feel very valued. So then about a week later, we offer them some assistance. So here's a key. So we say, hey, listen, Jonah was back on your profile, and I see you working in this area. Would you like to let me know exactly what you're looking for so that if I come across anybody or anything, I can refer them on to you? Now, how selfless is that? Who's doing that on LinkedIn? The answer is bugger all people. So therefore, now you're starting to build trust with Jonah. And now we're going to move that trust into a potential love strategy. So now we're going to invite them somewhere where I'm not going to invite them to this webinar. I wouldn't do that. The reason why is because this is literally one-way traffic. I'm going to invite them somewhere where they can participate, where they can network with other people, and where they can have the opportunity to add value. One of our favorite places of been doing that has been masterminds. And a seat in our mastermind averages around $1,800 on a back-end sale. And we don't sell anything in our mastermind. So our masterminds are generally 10 to about 15 people. And so therefore our masterminds are very, very good money earners. And most of the people, and some of you listening to this go, oh, I went to a mastermind with Mike and Landy, right? Probably did. I know a number of people following us who will be listening to this. Yes, you probably even went through this process. But we want to invite you somewhere where you can sample us in a place where we can communicate backwards and forwards. So we can also sample you, because we don't just want any client, we want the right clients. And where you have the opportunity to network, meaning that you can possibly build something for yourself out of it. And we've had so many people at our masterminds do business together, and even lots of business together over the years. I've stopped tracking it. And then the other thing is that we want you to add value. So you'll have something that you've got to say in this environment. Even if this was two-way traffic on this webinar, some of you are going, hey, Mike, I've got this to add. You're right, but have you thought of this? That's the type of great value that can happen when you get this happening. If you invite them somewhere where it's one-way traffic, hey, read my book or do this, it doesn't work. So here's 3 key things. Once you've done that, now their heart is open, and now you can start to communicate with them and ask them business type questions that may lead to potential sales. So yes, you'll do a little bit more work up front, but guess what? Selling is not going to become the dredgy, hard thing that it has been in the past for many of you. So, we really don't worry about sales. Sales take care of themselves. All we do is look at how many LinkedIn people we're talking to. That's our number. So if we've got $92 per person, if we want to make $92,000 in the next month, we've got to contact 1,000 people and have them come into our LinkedIn this month, right? May sound like a lot. If we want to have 920,000, we've got to contact 10,000 people. So LinkedIn has been one of our most successful strings in our lead carriage. Okay, remember I said you had to have 4? We use 4 different ways for ourselves. We have LinkedIn. That's our number 1 social media. That's what we use. Okay. Then we have events, or if I call it stages, generally other people's stages, sometimes our own stage. We know the number on that too. $445 a seat is our average there. We have masterminds, as I said, about $1,850 on a mastermind. And then we have referrals, and we average about $9,500 a referral. So there are 4 strings to our bow. There are 4 things in the lead carriage, and every single one of them we must build trust on. But you're here because this is a social media type of exercise, and we're talking about going online. Your objective here is to get people into offline discussions. That can be on Zoom calls where people can interact. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be face-to-face, but in some type of offline, mutually communicating type of view. Okay, here's some LinkedIn faux pas. Look at the cat, right? So this is what people do. Hi, Mike. Yeah, I saw your profile. Looks interesting. Hey, should we set up a call? Are you kidding me? I'm busy. Why don't you just go away? I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Just go, right? People know you want to sell them your stuff when you do that, and they know you don't care about them. Don't do it. I didn't even put up here I'm very good at selling, at redesigning your website or something like that. That doesn't work. Okay. Number 2, I've written a book and I'd like to give you my free book. People don't care that you've written a book. They don't see value in your book. I don't care if it's the Da Vinci Code or Harry Potter. They don't see value in it because they don't know you. We do give people free books on LinkedIn, but after we've built trust with them. So when they start to love us, they say, hey, we thought you might like this book. It was an international bestseller this year. You could go to Amazon and buy it, but if you want it, we're happy to send you a copy free. And if people don't want it, we don't say, here's my free book. We give it to them only if they want it. And then here's the 3rd faux pas. Don't do this. Don't ask people to check something out. Don't go to LinkedIn. Hi, yeah, Mike here. Hey, listen, could you go to my page and check out this? Oh, I don't want to do that either. You haven't earned the right to ask people to take action yet. Leads, trust, love, then sale, then take people on a journey with more and more products and services. Don't ever think that people don't want to buy more and more from you. They do. Let's move on. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And this is important because as many people as you see going online now, as many people as hitting the new social medias, there's also that opposite reaction. How many people have you spoken to who said, I'm over Facebook? Oh, no, I don't want to be on that. So, social media drives me insane. I waste my time doing it, right? So think of that as well. So your activity, whilst social media and going online is fantastic because it can give you access not only to a broad spread, but to the world, it also is something whereby you need to ensure that you're hitting the right audience because your audience may be offline. So every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So your social media of note now may not be a social media of note in the future. In 2010, we used to track this. We don't track Facebook anymore. In 2010, 24% of our group's revenue came from Facebook. 24% in 2010. In 2016, I stopped tracking it because it was less than 2%. So Facebook became very social for us. It's a way of advising people of events and summits and things like that, but it's incredibly social, whereas LinkedIn has definitely proven for us to be where the money is. For you, it may be TikTok, it may be YouTube, it may be a podcast, it may be something else, Instagram, Instapaper, whatever, toilet paper, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. People are moving all the time, and depending on your avatar that you're going for, somebody already has that audience. Somebody is already grabbing your avatar. So go and look there for them. Customers only want 5 things, folk. They want money. They want wisdom from you. They want more freedom. They want to do things more simply, and they just want to save time. So whatever you're building from an online perspective, these are your keys here. This is what you need to have them do. So in wrapping this up, I want to come out to Alex. Alex literally just posted this on my LinkedIn just very, very recently. If you go to us, these are her first 5 or 6 words. Mike's been an absolute godsend. Now, the reason why she says that is because she is a reputation and marketing expert who works in the social selling field. She's got lots of clients herself, and she's now moved her business and merged it with one of our clients, which she met through one of our communities, and they've now got the biggest sales and marketing business in New Zealand, okay? And what we got Alex to do was we got her to systemize all her online stuff and systemize it for clients so they could pick and pay what they wanted at various levels. And that's mean that she'd been able to get scale and scope in there. And then by using different experts in different areas, you know, Facebook experts, blog post experts, LinkedIn experts, etc., then she's able to wrap that in an umbrella underneath her and have a phenomenal business. They're doing so well, and she's such a great client and friend of ours also. So I wanted to leave you with that case study because this is about really giving thought to that core avatar, and Alex built the money train for her business. So before that, she sold products, and then she built the money train. That just simply changed her business. The money train: lead, trust, love, then selling, then journey. You're an entrepreneur, business person, perhaps even an investor. You want just 3 things, and they've been elusive so far. Firstly, you want a group of like-minded people who actually get you and who you get. Secondly, you want relevant, up-to-date strategies to get you through every issue in business. And lastly, you need all of this to be trusted, the highest possible standard, but easy to access and fun to be part of. That's why we invented the Octopus Tribe. It's accredited at the same level as the best universities. It can issue you with continuing professional development points if needed, and integrates online and offline. You can even access world-class live events, connections, and much more. And to make it easy, all this for just $1 a day. That's why the octopus is the smartest creature on the planet. Folks, that is why the octopus is very smart. So I want to give you an invite to actually come and be part of the Octopus Tribe. Here's the formula that sits behind it. So we have certified education, certified at the same level as the major universities of the world through Education Alliance Finland. So this education is taken from over 100 masterminds that we've run in the last 3 years, everywhere from Denver in the US to Stockholm in Sweden. So we've run them everywhere: Manchester in England, Cape Town, Perth, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, you name it, Mumbai, we've run masterminds. And we have then gained grassroots intelligence, which we've built into technology. You saw some of the infographics there in the system that we've now had certified at the highest level globally. And not only that, is that we can, because of that, we can offer you who needs continuing professional development points for your industry, the ability to have continuing professional development points. So that's phenomenal as well. So you can get your points by interacting in our global tribe. Every week, in fact, as soon as I'm finished doing this webinar here, I have another webinar for our global tribe and our community coming up in about 15 minutes, which I'll be running with a fantastic lady who runs a publishing company from Germany, and she'll be our guest today. So you'll become part of this global tribe and part of this community. So it's a community of like-minded, conscious entrepreneurs who want to make the world a better place and actually want to really scale up what they're doing so that they can have more prosperity, greater freedom, but with purpose. And then comes intelligent growth, sustainable prosperity. This is something we don't care whether you want to buy a Mercedes-Benz or a Maserati. We don't care if you want to have $1 million beach house. That's not why we do this. We do this to help you look after the people that you love, look after the communities that you love, look after the staff that you love. So we have intelligent growth built into this because the octopus is intelligent. So 5 aspects of the Octopus Tribe, and you can go to the website here, theoctopustribe.com, take a screenshot, okay? In case you haven't got this, theoctopustribe.com. Firstly, there's our EdTech platform built especially for you, which has in there a 13-lesson module in there, which is all about how to build and design products and services based on the money train technology. Secondly, we have our global community. And our global community is where you can interact. It's a private community just for the Octopus Tribe people. And then every week we have weekly experts come in and share in live forums through Zoom on that global community. So you can interact, ask questions of our live experts, and connect and communicate with other people in the community. See who you like and then connect with them offline. Of course, we have our CPD points as well. So if you need those, if you're in financial planning, law, architecture, engineering, nursing, or one of those things that needs to continually keep your qualification up to date, we're able to give you that by the hours you spend on our webinars. So if you attend 10 webinars, you literally get 10 hours worth of credits. If you go and watch all the modules online, you'll probably get about 13 hours credit for that. And then we also give you a significant discount. In fact, we give you 80% off coming to our Bali Business School each year, which includes your accommodation and food. You pay for your flights. You will only pay 20% of what the retail price is for that. The information's in the Octopus Tribe for that. The key to prosperity and with freedom and purpose is this process here. We call it the high-end offer design process. This is the technology that we utilize in the Octopus Tribe. That's a trademark technology that we own. It's also one of the things that's been accredited with the Finnish Alliance Education Group as well. And once you complete this program, which will take you around about 13 hours, if you want to do that, we need to know that you're serious. Then either Lundy or myself will do a one-on-one, no cost, absolutely free to you strategy call to show you how to implement everything that you've learned inside the Octopus one-on-one with us. It takes normally about an hour to an hour and a half, and we'll give that to you absolutely free. All that for just $1 a day, $365 for a 12-month membership to the Octopus Tribe. So just go to the website, theoctopustribe.com, and you will find it there. You'll find all the information there, and you can grab that. Here's for those of you that are skeptics at this point and going, oh, is this just another thing? No, because it actually follows what I've been teaching in this webinar. So it follows the zone of getting people online and bringing them offline. If you didn't listen, if you're still here, then you probably are interested in this. So you probably should become part of it. Remember, within this, if we can give you one idea, just one idea over the next even 2 months within the Octopus Tribe, we can 10x your investment. And we can probably 10x it within 30 days. Because if you get in and start watching material, it's going to change the way you think. If you get on the calls, it's going to change the way you think as well. If you get involved with other people in the tribe and listen to the types of things we're talking about, it's going to really change the way you think. It's going to absolutely revolutionize what you do. And one final thing, if you go, oh, but I don't even have $365 because it's been hard during COVID. Yep, I've got something easy for you. I've got something no-brainer for you if you don't have the money. And that is just bring 2 other people with you. So 3 of you come on board and you can get it for free. In fact, if you want to help some friends, bring 5 on board and you'll get 50% of that fee just for bringing 5 people on board. So you'll actually be in profit, like 200% in profit. And if you want to become an ambassador for the Octopus because you love it so much, you can go out there and start promoting it and make it a really cool second part of your income as well. So there's no excuses here for people who don't want to do this or have got reasons not to do it. If you're looking for a group of like-minded people like myself, who are just going to cut to the chase, no BS, and just going to say, this is the best practice on the planet. It didn't come from Elon Musk because he doesn't use it. He's got billions of people running around for him. It didn't come from Richard Branson. He doesn't need to use it. It comes from people like you who are doing what you do, best practice. Then come and join the Octopus Tribe, $365, $1 a day. Go to theoctopustribe.com. So that's it, folks, for going online and taking people offline and creating your own money train. I hope you took some notes there. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy talking to you. And with that, we'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.